How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So the markets are selling off today. It's currently 12:50 p.m. on the East Coast. We have the Dow down 0.1%. Same with the S&P. The Nasdaq 100's down 0.3%. And believe it or not, the Russell's up 0.5%. So today we're going to break down some stocks, 3 in particular that I believe are oversold. And we're going to go over the overall market. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, hit the like button if you guys find value, and check out my Patreon if you want my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos. All of that's on Patreon. Link down below. And let's get right into the video. So like I said, we're selling off a bit right now. And looking here on SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, we're fighting to hold the neckline of the inverse head and shoulder that we can clearly see here on the 20-day chart. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and we're battling between the neckline at about 433 and right around that 50 moving average on the 20-day chart, which is right around 436. So we're battling between this little 3-point window, and you can clearly see that. I mean, if I zoom in a bit, we got rejected at that 50 moving average multiple times today, and we've held 433 multiple times today. So we have to pick direction, whether it's today, later in the day, the next 3 hours of trading, tomorrow, some point this week. We got to either A, break out of that 50 moving average, which thus would mean the inverse head and shoulders playing out. We're probably going to go back to 440 plus, or B, we got to break under 443 or 433 rather, and start pushing down to test the lows from last week, which would obviously mean the inverse head and shoulder is out the window and the bears would be gaining more steam to potentially break the lows, and thus us will probably see more red in the market. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. I'm being very patient overall, looking at what's going on with SPY right now. And for QQQ, it's pretty much the same thing, right? We're holding the neckline at about 357, 358. And we're also getting rejected right by that 50 moving average. So we got to pick direction, whether we break out, we go under that low from yesterday, or actually that was earlier in the pre-market today, or do we end up maybe, just consolidating for a couple more days. The markets are in a very interesting spot right now. So what do you think? Drop me a comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Make sure to hit the like button if you guys are finding value in this video and in all my videos for that matter. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. And now let's talk a little bit about 3 stocks in particular that I believe are a little oversold. We have bullish divergences in 2 of these stocks. One we're going to talk about now. The other one's going to be the last stock in the video, so make sure you stick throughout this video. And I think these are just a bit oversold, and they're bound for reversal sooner rather than later, in my opinion. So stock number 1 is Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. This one has clearly sold off a good chunk over the past couple of weeks, ever since $29 per share, which it hit that in the end of September, more like the middle towards the end of September, on the 23rd to be exact, is when it hit that 29 high. And since that point, we've sold off a good chunk, about 22%. So Palantir, believe it or not, is in a bear market right now, and that's within the time period it's gotten in a bear market since we've gotten a contract. You guys can see Palantir, and if you've been watching, they just landed an $800 million, I believe, government contract, $823 million to be exact, and the stock is still in a bear market. I mean, it did see a nice pop initially when it got that contract from $23 to $26.75, but that pop did not last. In fact, we lost that whole pop. We've pretty much retraced that whole pop. It went up 13%. Now we've lost 13%. So in my opinion, this is at the bottom of the channel. Well, it's not opinion. It is at the bottom of the channel. But in my opinion, this dip will be bought up. And on top of that, we are noticing a bit of a bullish divergence. Look, the RSI has been strengthening since the end of September as the stock even in the end of September, was selling off. So that's a good sign that we could get a rip back up. But now we just have to wait for the actual breakout in the stock, which for me, I'm going to set an alert at $24.15, right by that 180. Actually, it's the 50 moving average on this 4-hour chart. And if we end up breaking out of there, this could end up seeing a move towards the mid-20s, high 20s again. So I think Palantir, it's beaten down. It's in a bear market. With a bullish divergence and a solid catalyst a couple of days ago, I think this could be setting up for a move to the upside. We got to watch it, and I'm super close to actually adding a little bit to Palantir. You know, if you guys are in my Patreon, you know all my swings, what I've been buying, and I actually haven't bought much of anything the past couple of days. You know, I've just been selling some covered calls against Nordstrom, DraftKings. I opened up a covered call position today. But other than that, I've been sitting on some cash, waiting to deploy that cash, and Palantir is at the top of my list right now. So, yeah, keep an eye on it. Ticker symbol PLTR. CCL is another one that I'm looking at, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, CCL was towards the bottom of this channel that I'm about to draw right now. There you go. You guys can see it. You can see it now. It was towards the bottom of this channel at about $23. And then we were talking about it at that point, middle towards the end of September. And we said, hey, look for a move towards the top of the channel. And lo and behold, a couple days, weeks later, it was about 5-10 days later, this thing ripped from 23 all the way to 27 plus, and it filled the entire gap to the top of that channel. And from that point, I was looking for a pullback, and now we got the pullback. It went from 27, now it's back to 24. It's lost about 13% of its value in the past roughly 2.5 weeks, and I think this is another dip buy. You know, we're right back to where we were before that $27 run up. And by right back to where we were, I don't mean exactly the same price as where we were, because now we're at $24.20. Before the original run up, we were at $23. But what I mean by that is we're at the bottom of the channel, which is where we were before the $27 run up, and we're testing a higher low at the bottom of the channel. And if this run up or the channel continues, it holds, the uptrend continues, we should hold 24. We should hold the 180 SMA. We should most likely break above the 50 SMA as well at about $25. And I think CCL could be making a move back to $27, $28 per share. No doubt about it. So keep an eye on it, guys. This is another stock that I'm looking to maybe deploy some of my capital into. This one, as well as Palantir, as again, I do have a good amount of cash on the sidelines right now. And I do recommend you guys, even though I'm not a financial advisor, to have a decent amount of cash on the sidelines at all times, because nobody knows, let's be honest, no matter what guru out there say, whatever the gurus out there say, which I don't consider myself a guru, even though a random person watching this might be like, oh, that guy's just a guru. I'm not a guru, but no matter what anybody says out there, guys, you know, nobody knows what the market's going to do, so you got to have cash as kind of an insurance policy and just some dry powder around, so you're able to take advantage of these dips. And the third stock, which if you guys stuck through, you stuck to the end, let me know in the comments, is Facebook. And I know Facebook is going through a lot right now, whistleblowers, this, that, the third, antitrust. People don't like the platform. It's getting destroyed, let's be honest. I mean, Facebook's down from 385 to now 320. It's almost in a bear market. It's down about 18%. Bear market's got to be 20% plus, so it's 2 percentage points away from being in a bear market. It's almost there, and I think it could be slow, you know, in terms of reversing back up. It might not happen in a week, 2 weeks. It might take a couple months, so it could be a slow reversal process back up. But if you have some time on your hands, you know, you got some money to deploy, and you think the markets could reverse overall, which thus could lead Facebook to reverse back up, at least it would help it. I think Facebook's not a bad place to park some money. And for me, I'm not looking to add it as a long-term position, but I'm looking at it more from a swing swing trading lens, right? With earnings coming up here in about 2 weeks on the 25th of October, and with a clear-cut bullish divergence, we can see it here, guys. Check it out. From the end of September, the RSI has been ripping. It's been getting stronger as the stock's been moving down. In my eyes, that is a bullish divergence. We've seen volume kick up as well. Now we just have to wait for the actual reversal, which is nowhere in sight considering we're under both moving averages. We just hit a lower low today. The downtrend's continuing. We're seeing a death cross as well. So the reversal's nowhere in sight. But if you're looking to play this as a longer-term swing, which is what I'm looking at it as, scaling into it, adding a little bit of money here, waiting, might be a decent idea. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my advice. Please don't. I'm just here giving you all my opinion. The way I'd look at this is, okay, maybe throw an initial position at 320. 10-15%. Maybe throw another 10-15% if it goes to 310, 300, or if it goes to 330, 340, add a little bit up, average up. That's kind of the way I'm looking at Facebook right now, because ultimately I think it will reverse, but it's just in a rocky time period. So keep your eyes on Facebook, CCL, Palantir. There are 3 oversold stocks that I'm looking at, and I'm very close to adding these stocks, probably Palantir and CCL over Facebook at this point, but I'm still watching Facebook, like I said, guys. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and check out my Patreon if you guys want my buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, plus more. All of that's on Patreon, link down below. Make sure to get your $30 and your 2 stocks from Webull as well. Also linked down below. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. Peace out.